He was too busy to help plan our son's birthday, so I did everything alone. The day before the party, I found a hotel key in his pants pocket. When I asked, he said, "It's for work." I followed him that night. Found him laughing in a jacuzzi with a woman who wore my necklace, the one I thought I lost. I took a photo, printed 30 copies, and gave one to every guest at the party, with a note that said, "Ask him where he was last night." I live in Sacramento, California. Not near downtown or any of the trendy spots. Just one of those older, quieter neighborhoods where people mow their lawns on Saturdays and kids ride scooters down the sidewalk. That's where I live with my son, Tyler, and until recently, my husband, Daniel. My name's Rachel. I'm 39. I used to think I had a pretty normal life. Married for over a decade. One kid. A mortgage. A routine. Daniel and I met in college. He was charming back then. Funny, smart, kind of a big talker. I guess I fell for the act. Or maybe it was real once. It's hard to tell now. We've been together for 15 years. Married for 11. And for most of those years, I thought we were solid. We had our issues like any couple, but I believed we were in it together. Then came Tyler's 8th birthday. That's when everything fell apart. It started like this. 2 months before his party, I asked Daniel to help me plan. I wasn't asking for a lot. Just a few things. Help pick the theme, maybe call his parents, book the bounce house, decide on the food. Normal stuff. His answer every time was the same. "I'm too busy. I've got a huge work thing going on. I trust you to handle it." I let it go at first. I figured maybe he really was busy. But the weeks went on and nothing changed. He'd come home late, sometimes after Tyler was already asleep. No help. No input. Barely any interest. I planned every detail myself. Booked the indoor play center where Tyler wanted to go. Sent invites to his friends' parents. Ordered a custom cake. Designed superhero-themed decorations. I even sewed little capes for the kids. It took me 3 weekends and a dozen needle pricks, but I wanted it to be perfect. For Tyler. Daniel didn't notice. Not once did he ask how things were going. Not once did he say thank you. He said he was working late a lot. Said there was a big launch at work, that things were crazy, that he was under pressure. I believed him because I didn't want to believe anything else. Then the night before the party, it all changed. I was doing laundry. Late like always. Folding, sorting, checking pockets. I pulled Daniel's dress pants from the hamper and felt something in the pocket. It was a hotel key card. It wasn't some roadside motel. It was for a hotel downtown. A luxury one. I held it in my hand for a long time. Just staring at it. My heart was pounding. I felt sick. I went downstairs and asked him about it. He barely blinked. "Oh, that's from a client visit," he said. "We had to reserve a room for someone. I was just setting it up." I looked him right in the face. He didn't flinch. I nodded and said okay. But I didn't believe him. Something snapped inside me. The lying, the distance, the way he disappeared whenever things got real. I couldn't ignore it anymore. He left that night, saying he had to go double-check the setup for tomorrow's supposed client meeting. He didn't even try to be creative. I told him good luck, kissed his cheek, and smiled like nothing was wrong. As soon as he was gone, I followed him. I got in my car and drove. My hands were shaking the whole time. I didn't even know what I'd do. I just needed to know the truth. He went straight to the hotel. Parked in the garage. Took the elevator up. I waited 10 minutes, then walked in. I told the front desk I was surprising my husband. They didn't care. Just smiled and pointed to the spa elevator. The hallway was quiet. Too quiet. I walked slowly. Then I heard it, laughing. A woman's voice. Then his. Playful. Loud. Familiar. I turned the corner. There was a private spa area with small jacuzzi suites. Each one had a glass wall. The curtain was halfway open. I saw him. With her. She was younger. Long dark hair. Laughing with her head back. Feet in the water. His arm was around her. They were drinking from a bottle of champagne. Then I saw it. The necklace. My necklace. Gold chain. Sapphire heart. Daniel gave it to me for our 7th anniversary. I wore it every day until I lost it one day. I tore the house apart looking for it. I cried. He told me I probably misplaced it. He didn't say he gave it to someone else. I took a photo. Just one. But it was enough. Her legs over his hand on her hip. Both smiling like they had no secrets in the world. The necklace catching the light. I turned around, walked back to my car. I didn't cry. I went to a 24-hour FedEx. Printed 30 copies of the photo. High quality. No words. Just the image. Then I slid each one into a plain white envelope. On the outside of each, I wrote in black ink. Ask him where he was last night. The next morning was the party. I showed up early. Set up all the decorations. Put the capes out on the chairs. Tied the balloons. I acted normal. No one suspected anything. Daniel showed up 20 minutes late. He smiled at everyone. Kissed me on the cheek. Told me traffic was bad. I smiled back and handed him a soda. The guests arrived, parents, cousins, neighbors, his coworkers. I passed out the envelopes to every adult. One by one. I told each person the same thing. Just take this home with you. It's about Daniel. You'll want to see it. Some open them early. Others tucked them in their purses or pockets. But the ones who opened it, well, they couldn't hide their reactions. One woman gasped. Another just whispered, "Oh my God." It didn't take long for Daniel to notice. He came up to me, angry, whisper shouting, "What the hell is this? What did you do?" I handed him an envelope. Look inside. He pulled out the photo. His face drained of color, then turned red. His eyes scanned the room, realizing what I'd done. "You're insane," he hissed. I looked at him. "No. I just got tired of pretending." His mother walked up then. She was holding the photo too. She looked him dead in the eyes and said, "You lied to all of us." Then she turned and walked away. Tyler was busy playing with his friends. He didn't see any of it. I stood up on a chair and raised my voice. "Thanks everyone for coming. I hope your kids had a great time. If you're wondering what this is about, you can ask Daniel. I won't be answering questions." I'm done covering for him. People started to leave soon after. Quietly. No one said much. But the looks they gave Daniel, they said enough. I took Tyler's hand and we left. We're staying with my sister now. She has a guest room. Tyler thinks we're on a little break from home. I haven't figured out how to tell him everything yet. Daniel's trying to call, text, email, saying it was just a mistake. That it didn't mean anything. That we should talk it out. I'm not ready to hear it. I don't know if I ever will be. It had been 2 weeks since the party. Tyler kept asking when we were going back home. I told him we were taking a little vacation with Aunt Carla. He seemed okay with that, but every time he asked when Daddy was coming over, I wanted to scream. Daniel kept texting, calling. He even showed up outside Carla's house once. I didn't let him in. I stood at the door and told him to leave. He said I was being emotional, that I was blowing things out of proportion, that he could explain. Explain what? I told him he could talk to my lawyer. He didn't like that. That's when things turned. I got an email from his lawyer. Suddenly, Daniel wanted shared custody. He wanted equal time with Tyler. Claimed I was keeping his son from him. Said I was unstable. That I'd acted recklessly at the party and embarrassed him in front of family and coworkers. I nearly threw my phone across the room. This man cheats on me, lies, disappears, gives another woman the necklace he said I lost, and I'm the unstable one? I called my lawyer. She told me to stay calm. Keep records. We started building our case. I gathered everything. The hotel key, the printed photo, his texts, the call logs. I even had screenshots of old bank transactions, fancy dinners, spa charges, stuff that didn't match his stories. Then came the real shock. One afternoon, Carla and I were watching TV while Tyler napped. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up and made a face. "Rachel, this is weird," she said. She handed me her phone. It was a message from an unknown number. "Better tell your sister to back off. Not everything is how it looks. She might regret making this ugly. I froze. Carla's hands were shaking. You think that's him? I didn't want to believe it, but yes. I recognized the tone. That smug, veiled threat. The kind of thing Daniel would say when he was trying to sound calm, but meant to scare you. We filed a police report. The officer said it wasn't enough to press charges, but it was worth documenting. That same night, someone keyed Carla's car. Deep, jagged lines down the driver's side. It was parked in her driveway. No one saw who did it, but we knew. I started checking the locks twice. Left lights on all night. Kept my phone charged and by my bed. Daniel had always been charming in public. Sweet-talking, friendly. But now the mask was off. Now I saw the other side. The control. The anger. The threat of him. A few days later, I got another message. This time to my phone. You really want to drag this out in court? You think they'll side with you after the stunt you pulled at that party? He was desperate. And that's when I found out something else, something worse. I got a call from a woman named Sherry. I didn't recognize the name. She said, "Hi, you don't know me, but I think we need to talk. It's about Daniel." I almost hung up. But something in her voice made me listen. She said she used to date him. Not recently. Years ago. Before me. But they stayed in touch on and off. He reached out to her again 2 months ago. Said he was thinking about old times. She didn't know he was married. Not anymore. Then she found my Instagram. Saw photos of our family. Of me. Of Tyler. I didn't know you existed, she said. He told me he was divorced. I couldn't even speak. My mouth went dry. He said you cheated on him, she added. That's when I realized he had a whole script ready. He wasn't just cheating. He was setting me up. Making me the villain in his version of events. I asked her to email me everything. Screenshots. Messages. Voicemails. She did. Over 50 messages. Flirty. Manipulative. Some with lies about me. Some asking her to come to that same hotel where I found him with the woman in the necklace. So now there were 2 women. Maybe more. I felt like a fool. But at the same time, I felt something else. Focused. I started documenting everything. Every single detail. Carla helped. We put together a binder. Timeline. Photos. Names. Messages. And then one night, when I thought things were finally calming down, Tyler came to me crying. Daddy told me you don't want me to see him. I froze. When did he say that? I asked. Today. When he picked me up from school. I almost threw up. Daniel wasn't supposed to take him. We hadn't worked out any custody agreement yet. He wasn't even on the school's pickup list. I called the principal the next morning. She apologized. Said Daniel seemed like a nice dad. Said he was very convincing. I was done being polite. My lawyer filed for an emergency custody order. The court date was set. And I was ready to show them exactly who Daniel really was. The court date was 2 weeks away. That gave me time to get everything in order. Every lie, every message, every picture, it was all going into that courtroom. But Daniel didn't sit still. A few days after the emergency order was filed, I started getting strange phone calls. No one spoke. Just silence. Sometimes breathing. Then hang-ups. It happened at least once a day. Carla got them too. Her number wasn't even public. One night, I stepped outside to take out the trash and found a dead rat on the hood of my car. At first, I thought maybe it was just random. Maybe a stray cat or a raccoon left it there. But then I noticed something. Wrapped around the rat's neck was a string. Like someone had tied it there. I backed away. Shut the garage door. Called the cops. They didn't find fingerprints. Said there was no way to prove it was him. But I knew. I could feel it in my gut. Daniel was trying to scare me into backing down. He didn't know who he was messing with anymore. I had enough rage build up to power a freight train. And now I had evidence too. Then came the twist I didn't expect. The other woman. The one in the photo with the necklace, her name was Melina. I found her by accident. Her face was in the background of one of Daniel's tagged photos from a company retreat. Someone else had uploaded it. She was wearing a staff lanyard. I dug a little. Turns out, she was Daniel's new hire. Fresh out of grad school.
24.
Marketing assistant. And the necklace? She'd been showing it off on her social media like it was some romantic gift from someone special. So I messaged her. I didn't attack. I just sent the photo. No words. Just that photo. A few hours later, she messaged back. Who are you? I told her. I said, I'm the woman who wore that necklace for 3 years before you. The one he said he lost it on. The one he forgot to mention he was still married to. She didn't reply for a while. Then she sent one line. He told me his wife died in a car accident 3 years ago. I dropped my phone. He told her I was dead. Not divorced. Not separated.
Dead.
I called Carla into the room and read the message out loud. She gasped. He's completely lost it. The next morning, Melina called me. Her voice was shaking. She said, he's been love-bombing me, talking about getting engaged, meeting his parents. I had no idea. I believed her. And then she said, do you need me to testify? It was like someone handed me a loaded gun. Would you? I asked. I will, she said. He deserves it. My lawyer was thrilled. Melina agreed to provide a statement. If needed, she would testify that Daniel lied about his marriage, manipulated her, and presented himself as a widower. And that's when Daniel made his next move. He filed a restraining order against me, claimed I was stalking him, that I had harassed his coworkers, that I'd created a hostile environment for his new relationship. It was the dumbest move he could have made, because now he had to show proof of harassment. And he didn't have any. All I had done was send one message to someone who didn't know I existed. So we went to court early, and it backfired on him. The judge threw out his petition, then ordered a hearing to reevaluate custody with evidence from both sides. That's when I dropped the binder. Not just the hotel photo, not just the text messages, but everything. The photo of the rat, the creepy text messages, Melina's testimony, the screenshots from the other ex, Sherry, the call logs from his fake pickup of Tyler, my necklace on another woman's neck. The judge looked at Daniel and said, this is going to be a very hard road for you.
And Daniel?
He just sat there, face tight. No more smug smile. No more slick charm. He knew the mask had cracked, and people were starting to see what was underneath. After that court hearing, everything moved fast. The judge granted me temporary full custody of Tyler. Daniel was allowed supervised visits at a court-appointed center twice a month. That killed him. I could see it. Not because he missed Tyler, but because he lost control. He tried appealing it. He tried playing the victim in every way he could. He told his family I was brainwashing our son. He told his job I was ruining his life and spreading lies. But here's the thing about lies. They fall apart when you shine light on them. And I'd lit that bastard up like the 4th of July. Word spread. His coworkers started whispering. HR pulled him in for a discussion. That girl, Melina?
She quit.
Filed a formal complaint. Said he misused his position. Said he groomed her. She even turned over emails from his company account. Romantic ones. Vulgar ones. 3 weeks later, Daniel was fired. Not laid off. Not asked to resign.
Fired.
I found out because he tried to access our joint bank account that same night. I'd already separated finances, but I left $83 in there just in case he got cute. He took it. That's how I knew he was broke. And then the dominoes kept falling.
His own mother stopped talking to him.
She told Carlo on the phone, I raised him better than this. I don't know who he is anymore. One night, Daniel showed up at Carla's house again. This time drunk. Slurring.
Crying.
Banging on the door. I just want to talk to my son. I just want to talk to my wife. I didn't open the door, but I turned on the porch light and stepped out on the top step. I said, you had a chance to be a husband. You had a chance to be a father. You chose to throw it all away for cheap lies and younger women. Now you get nothing. He sat down in the driveway and started sobbing. Carla called the cops. They took him in for public intoxication. That was the last time I saw him in person. In the months that followed, Daniel tried to drag me into court 3 more times. Each time, it got worse for him. The judge finally issued a protective order against him. No contact, no messages, no picking up Tyler without a third party and prior approval. Melina testified.
So, did Sherry.
Even one of his coworkers spoke up, said Daniel had been bragging about juggling women and keeping his wife in check. His reputation? Destroyed. His savings?
Gone.
His condo?
Sold.
I heard through the grapevine he moved in with a friend in Citrus Heights.
No job.
No car. Nothing left. As for me, I got the house. I got full custody. I got peace. But I also got something else. I got my anger back. I had spent years swallowing it, letting Daniel dismiss me, gaslight me, ignore me. I let him turn me into a ghost in my own marriage. I'm not proud of how long I stayed quiet. I should have seen the signs sooner. I should have stood up for myself years ago. But I did the best I could. And when it finally came time to fight, I made sure he would never forget it. On Tyler's 9th birthday, I threw another party. Same play center. Same friends. Same goodie bags. But this time, I included something extra in every parent's gift bag. A card. On the front, it said, "Thank you for standing by the truth." And on the back, a copy of that same photo. The one of Daniel laughing in the jacuzzi, the necklace glinting around that woman's neck. Below it, I printed, "This is what I was cleaning up when he said he was too busy to help." I didn't care if it was petty. I didn't care if it was overkill. Because sometimes revenge doesn't come in loud explosions. Sometimes it comes in silence, in control, in watching someone lose every fake thing they ever built.
Daniel taught me that.
And I made sure he'd never forget who tore it all down.